Welcome, a warm welcome to the Billiard Network's next rotational pool offering. And as you can see, the famous face of Shane van Boening, the left of the two players, playing against Piotr Kudlik from Poland. This a match on the Eurotour circuit, the longest running and strongest continental pool tour in the world. My name is Rico and I'll be your host and narrator through these run-out proceedings, safeties, jumps, kicks, breaks, techniques, and hopefully I can at least tell you what happened and maybe give you some insights. So we are playing with the 9-ball racked on the spot and the 3-point rules in effect. Race to 9, alternate break. Shane is going to attempt this bank on the 1. We'll kind of hold automatic position off of 1 or 2 rails on the 2-ball. So big reward if he makes it. Ooh, just hit the knuckle. Snookered him on the 1. So the 3-point rule on the break was created to stop people breaking soft and just kind of pushing the 1 into the side and playing position and not risking your cue ball. 3 points can be collected by any balls made on the break or a ball that passes the breaking area, so the north half of the top half of the table. And so either 3 balls made on the break or 2 balls made and 1 ball passing the breaking line all counts for 3 points. If you do that, you can continue. If you don't comply, the player sitting down comes to the table and can take or leave the situation he's given. Anyway, we'll probably come to that in another game during this match. So the jump shot not quite working out, but same as with SVB, the leave pretty nice. So a lot of right spin on his cue ball, since the natural angle would make him hit the pink 4, so needs to bend it more to the left. Did so. Yeah, it was hard to get away with, I think. Alright, so first chance of a decent pot for Piotr. Now, the angle he's facing, I believe, could be the case that rolling the 1 ball into the side makes his cue ball go dangerously close to the top right corner pocket. So that's why he's elevating, wants to manipulate the cue ball path and draw it into the 9-5 and kind of hold position for the 2. Alright, elevation always makes the pot definitely a bit more difficult, harder to see the potting line from an elevated position. Did well. Got a nice and easy 2-ball, but still a maneuverable cue ball. So he wants to draw it back just a slight bit to leave himself this angle on the 3, because the pink 4 only fits kind of in the left pockets of the table. We'll probably come straight over to the right side of the table, in between the pink orange, to play the pink 4 in the left side pocket. Alright, pretty adventurous cue ball. I wouldn't have wanted to come near that orange 5. The spin was pretty sensitive there, but played it well. So now the next thing that needs attention is the green 6, which needs a specific cue ball positioning. So wants to leave himself an angle on the 5 ball to make the cue ball maneuverable. He's just checking if he stops his cue ball, will that give him enough angle to work the cue ball. Position on the green 6 would need to be in between the brown 7 and black 8. That's a doable angle. Pretty nice. albeit pretty close. It's good he doesn't need any backspin on his cue ball, because he wouldn't be able to give it with his cue ball stuck on the rail. So back up to halfway of the table, to the midline. And that just short. So in 9-ball pool, everybody is bound to get out of position sometimes. It's about how you can correct yourself, hopefully within one shot. You know, he got slightly out of position with the cue ball on the rail on the 6. Now he's got slightly out of position on the 7. Although now, though, he's got a nice angle in making the 8-ball. His cue ball is going to hit the top rail of the table and come back out for the 9. A little bit speedy. Ooh, that's an in-betweener. I mean, we've all had it. So he's looking to choose the side pocket. This 9-ball for first blood. So important, the start of these matches, especially against the more established, well, legends of the game. You know, don't let them run away with it. So 1-0. We're fast forwarding the racking times, you might be happy to hear. But here there's a slight editing error. And it was so hard to see who made the final 9-ball. I think it was Shane, because the scoreboard is still on 1-0. But Piotr's breaking, so it has to be game 3. We're playing alternate break. So it's either 1-all or 2-0 for Kudlik. Now, as you could see, the black 8-ball was made on the break, but only one other ball passed the breaking area, the orange 5, so 2 points only collected. That's why Piotr had to give up control of the table for Shane, but Shane didn't like, as you may be able to imagine, the position he found himself in on the 1-ball, so was able to pass it back. And then Piotr still has the option to push out. Now with the push out, always wise to try to create as much distance as you can between the cue ball and the ball you're pushing out on. So the top rail, you know, check out anywhere there. Top right corner pocket, that might be a good lay, you know, to not really leave him in, definitely not an easy pot, if a pot at all. Now he's looking at that narrow window between the 7 and 9. Could potentially leave him a 1-6 carom. Would be pretty devious if you left them there exactly. It's not easy to roll your cue ball and make it stick on that top rail. Needs some, you know, quite good stroke speed control, which he exhibited. Quite exemplary. So, Shane with the option to give it back. Well, didn't need long to decide on that. I think he cannot hit enough of the right side of the yellow ball to make the carom happen. Oh yeah. So double kisser. So Shane with a 1-6 combo. Leave the one where the 6 is now. Might use the brown 7 to halt his cue ball running all the way up table. Ooh, that was about as dangerous as you could hit the brown 7, which still got the shot on the 1. I would love to play the blue in the bottom left, but there's a 9-ball and 3-ball in the way. Yikes. Alright, so not completely as planned. Pink 4 is blocking one of his pockets, so we'll have to shoot it in the side pocket, that being the right side pocket, or top side pocket, the way we're looking at it now. But his cue ball will be running away from the red 3. So we'll have to go up table and back down towards the red 3. All the while first focusing on making the ball you're shooting currently. Ooh, hit the knuckle again. So hit the side pocket knuckle on the first 1-ball bank. Now on this 2-ball in game, apparently game 2, but I would suspect it's game 3. Excuse me. So this match, a few years old, I'm commentating for you on this match in November 2023. And I suspect this being a little bit of an older match, surely so, because Shane's got a bit more hair than he does in 2023. So I think this is about a 5-year-old match, but there's a reason why we dug up this match from the vast Eurotour library. Good kick shot on that 2-ball. I mean, even if he left him to 2, that was as good as he could have hit it, really. Now, can Shane make this? If he can, his cue ball will run into the orange 5. And it's not easy to hit it with backspin and make that backspin still be there when you reach the 2-ball. That would require speed. And speed scrutinizes your technique more and more, so more quality required then. Can he make this? Okay, he's unscrewing the extension. He might go for a whole ball jump here. The jump, I think surely the impact on the 2-ball will kind of stun his cue ball more to our left, and he might avoid hitting the 5-ball. Still applying some backspin. Here we go. Whole cue jump. Ooh! Now there, a good example of Shane Van Boening being a true heir to the Earl Strickland kind of 9-ball playing, kind of 2.0, even better, really. Jumping with a whole cue, not many players in the world have practiced that or are able to do that. Now, you didn't have to clear the whole obstructing ball, but still, to have the accuracy to make the ball, pretty neat. Tester here. Pretty good. Shane quite likes these, you know. Shane loves is just very capable of these full stroke shots where you have to, you know, you can basically hit the cue ball with a nice full stroke, pretty maximum amount of backspin to draw it as close to the middle diamond of that part of the rail you're hitting, and then back out, I think. Ooh. Hit that way too thick. Is Shane still suffering some jet lag or something? So he's missed one bank I wouldn't have expected him to miss, and then these two balls in this rack, leaving Piotr a pretty natural up and down position from the 4 to the 5. Alright, didn't really want to tickle that 7, but that left him ideal actually. So Piotr must be thinking a little bit like, hey, you know, and he looks pretty loose, not even chalking in between shots. He's kind of already cruising. Ooh. I have to say, these pockets looking fairly forgiving. All right, so that game's goes to Piotr as well. So Shane to break, 2-0 it says. Alright, so Shane made the 1-ball, the 4-ball pass, but I think another ball went in and out of that kitchen area, as we call it, the breaking area. So, cue ball naturally rolls 1-2 rails towards the green 6, orange 5, so we'll need a really specific cue ball path here to get position on the red 3. Draw it back out. Yeah, so just accept that he wasn't going to get close position on the 3, but just almost any position on the 3 would do. I think he's going to top spin his cue ball and kind of come back to where the 3 ball is now. Oh, low tip position. Is he going to screw it back north of the brown 7? Nice. Big stroke Shane. Alright, so ideal position. And would like to be able to keep an ideal line from here on in. Yeah, Shane's got such a nice rhythm around the table. You know, of course, that comes from years of training, a whole lot of talent, and a whole lot of heart as well. But you know, he kind of looks like Earl used to look. You know, walking around the table authoritatively, kind of a nice rhythm. Not afraid to shoot big shots when required to. Of course, would love to have easy position. Love playing the full swing strokes. Spinning his cue ball off a rails. Shane. I mean, you know, I was just paying you so many compliments. Whew. Alright. So these cut shots, this angle, a bit less of an angle, a bit more of an angle, I always just advise myself, hit it as thin as you can, because overcutting this 9-ball, I mean, that would be an achievement, but hitting it too thick, then I would feel a bit dumb, kind of, if you catch my drift. Nice. So, Kudlik playing well and picking up the pieces that Shane leaves. Game number 4, yeah, see, so it's 3-0 to Kudlik. The scoreboard person finally finished his breakfast and adjusted to where it needed to be. So important for Shane to tag along here to 3-1 and not go down 4-0. Raise to 9, alternate break. Whew. So tester here. Reward though, if you make it, you've got position. Nice. Yeah, he's got a nice demeanor around the table as well. You know, of course, when you're leading 3-0, most people have a pretty nice demeanor, but no, he's looking good as far as knowing what he needs to do, doing it pretty smoothly and swiftly, not overthinking it. Although, a few times now he's left his cue ball on the rail-ish when he didn't really need to. Because now he needs more speed than he would have liked to get position on this green 6. Yeah. So the previous position is where the unforced error basically happened. Alright, so Piotr conceding the 9-ball. I think actually on the Eurotour circuit you're not allowed to concede any 9-balls, but never mind, really. So legal break, but definitely snookered on that red 3. Now you might not push out, because kicking at this 3 from the rail south of the red 3 ball, you know, if you hit it half ball, the cue ball goes towards the right, 3 ball goes towards the green 6, let's say. There are a lot of balls in between. You know, I think the percentage is a higher percentage chance to snooker the opponent, then leave him something. So let's see what comes. Shane not playing his best yet, but that was a nice speed of kick. And so Piotr looking to play the kick and stick, meaning coming off the short bottom rail, hitting the 3, leaving the cue ball where the 3 is now, and sending the 3 towards the pink 4, 9 ball somewhat. Hopefully past those balls and snookering Shane. Look, nice kick and stick executed. Alright. Hit it about as good as he could, really. So chance for Shane after a bank shot miss, 2 balls missed in rack number 3. Now if you could clear up here and only go 3-2 down, you know, those mistakes kind of quickly vanish from your pool playing brain, or psyche if anything. Position not automatic though here from the 3 to the 4. Hold it. That's nice, nice enough. You can either slow roll this 4 ball in and keep about a 30-40 degree angle on the 5 ball. So basically the common rule for rotational runouts is that now that the green 6, making the green 6 will not give you position on the 7 automatically. So then you want, 9 out of 10 times you want to keep 20 to 40 degree angles, like so. So you have a doable object ball and a maneuverable cue ball. And if the ball you're currently shooting gives you position on the next one, kind of like this 7 ball here, then you'd often keep minimal angle, so 0 to 20 degree angles or something. Although Shane might still maneuver his cue ball here to get closer to the 8. Pretty good, but now he left himself hardly any angle. Oh, yeah, just a slight angle will do. We'll just kind of stun draw his cue ball slightly closer to the 9 ball than where it is now. Could leave it there some almost. Yeah, pretty nice. So game number 5, looking to go to SVB. He will be breaking. Piotr won the lag. Oh, so it's game 6. I wonder though. Piotr broke the opening rack, so never mind. Let's just look at the match rather than who's breaking or what the score is. Wow, enough balls down. So 3 balls down. Don't know if he can cut this ball into the side or into the corner, but position on the pink 4, hard to achieve. Could cut the 2 in bottom left and then zigzag his cue ball to the left rail, right rail, and back to at least where the blue ball is now for position on the 4-6 combination. It's about as good as he can do, I think. Okay, so nice soft roll. So he left himself knowingly a thin cut on this 4, knew he wasn't going to get much better than this. Yeah, that was... yeah, it just wasn't hit well enough, was it? Hit the rail far too soon. Sometimes hitting the rail can still kind of slide it into the pocket, but that rail was hit too soon. So you kind of have to make up your mind if you either want to draw the cue ball back in between the green and brown, or if you want to create more angle and come to where his Q-tip is pointing now. Don't want to come in between, because then you might snooker yourself behind the 7-9. Ooh, hit it rail first. Love that one. Nice. Ideal angle on the 6 to shoot the 7 into the left side, I would imagine. That was a nice shot from the 5 to the 6. Alright, so Shane's coming for you, Piotr. So Shane looking to cut the 1 in the side, maybe make the black 8 bottom right. So 1 in the side it is, 2 balls past the breaking area. I mean, with Shane, you know, he's definitely one of the, well, you know he's one of the best breakers in the world, but always gives it cue ball speed, so I don't think he need to worry about the 3-point rule applying, really. But can he make this 2 ball? And if he can make it, how the heck are you going to get your cue ball back up to the left side of the table for the red 3? Ooh. Can he? I mean, he can't hit the left side of the 2 ball. Stun it in between the orange pink. Ooh, careful. So too much angle on the 3. This is a tough position to keep position or get position on the pink 4. I mean, play it with bottom left spin, and where he is looking now, guide it underneath the black into that corner, and then back out to the center of table, or super slow roll it, like drag your cue ball. Poof. You'd almost be tempted to bank it in the side and stun your cue ball over to the center of table. Huh. Conundrum for Shane. Important segment of this match. Yep. Just not able to keep that cutting angle to cut it in, really. 85 degrees is about as thin a cut as you can achieve. And this, well, yeah, I guess theoretically it would be possible, but you really have to hit maybe between 1 and 5% of this pink 4, and that's hard to make your cue ball do that and make it reach the pocket. So you would need to almost whack your cue ball, since your cue ball is only transferring about 5% of its energy into the object ball, zigzagging your cue ball up and down. I mean, he might be tempted. The pockets are pretty friendly. Or you could just call them big. Of course, there's a potential safety on, if you want to keep things tight and not risk anything. Yeah. Ew, overcut it. Yeah, that's an achievement. Alright, so making the 4 gives you a shot on the 5, so you could stop it right there and, you know, not try to be fancy. You could try to spin your cue ball out and shoot the 5 in the same corner, but then you get this kind of potential hits on the 5 ball not knowing where it's going to end up. But this worked out pretty well. Alright, so Piotr needs to get back into run out ways. Does that 7 past the 8? I think it just about does. Oh, he's going to cut it in. So he's a pretty quick player. I thought it was smooth earlier. He's fairly quick. Not extremely accurate with his cue ball speeds, of course. You know, 6 games of a 9-ball match is hard to really determine the speed of the level of a pool player, or his positional prowess, or cue ball feel, etc. I like his, or what looks like confident demeanor. That's what I like. And can get you a long way. Ooh. Is this 9-ball cuttable? I think it just about is. It needs to give his cue ball some speed. The natural pocket would be the bottom left from where we're looking, so he needs to avoid that, giving it a left spin to go wider. Alright. Alright. Next game, Piotr to break. So 1 ball in the side near us, or the bottom side. Didn't make that. Made the 8 in the corner, and 3 balls past the breaking area. So a legal break, but an extremely thin cut again on the 1 ball. Don't think he'll go for this. Safety not easy either. Would like to send his cue ball up table, 1 ball up table. Ooh, we went for it. Never mind. Almost made the 9 in the process. He's got the shot on the 2. The cue ball will react and kind of roll towards the left half of the table, and that's not where he wants to be for position on the 3. Don't want to be shooting this with top left spin to straighten it up off of this bottom rail. Oh, fluker? No. Don't tell me he snookered himself on the 3 ball. That'd be almost like a trick shot. No. So most care for position will have to go from the 5 to the 6. Although there's quite a large area you can play position on the green 6, so keep a slight angle on the 5. Alright, so after that positive and fairly faultless start by Piotr, that's kind of being eroded now by a few of mistakes from on his part. Shane, kind of slowly but surely getting into stroke, and if there's someone you'd imagine the more he plays, the fewer mistakes he makes, it would be Shane, kind of sinking his teeth into this matchup. So looking to tie things up 4-piece. Now I'm still not 100% certain, because I could swear it was Piotr breaking in the first rack that we saw, unless that wasn't the first rack. No, that cannot be it. Sorry for my confusion, but it would be nice to know exactly what the score is, if it is this. Okie dokie, so timeout. Shane kind of hanging around the area. his break, 4 apiece. Now, was that a legal break? Ooh, yes. Yeah, because the 8 ball just touched that breaking line, so all okay. Is he gonna bank this too? Would still need to whack his cue ball to get a fairly straight in shot on the red 3, with the pink 4 being there, so I guess. Alright, that's a pretty lock-up safety. Albeit a 1 rail kick off of the right rail. The 2 balls out in the open. It's a pretty wide angle, so it's not always easy to judge. And if he hits the right side of the 2 ball from where we're looking now, quite a few hits on that 2 ball on the right side might make his cue ball disappear into the side pocket where you see the yellow 1 ball laying now. Don't really know what he's looking at like this. I mean, sometimes if you know you're not going to hit the ball you're snookered on, you might try to create a cluster, maybe, you know, like the cut the 4 into the orange 5, but I don't think he's able to do that. Could send the 3 ball into the 6-9 vicinity and try to create a 3 ball cluster there, although with ball in hand on the 2, from the 4 into that cluster would be an easy thing to open up. So what is he, I think that's what he's doing. Yeah. Not too bad, you know. Work to do for Shane. I'm not sure if the 3 ball goes into the pocket, she's looking now, the pocket where the 8 ball is laying near to. If that does, then if it does go there, then yeah, so pretty good tactical move there. Of course, giving ball in hand away, never really a fun thing to do. Yeah, so the 3 ball doesn't go anywhere at the moment. Now could... Yeah, so if he stuns the 2 ball into the left side and comes into the pack of 3 balls, then he might get snookered on the 3 ball. Okay, so he's going to cut the 2 in, come off of this rail on the right side, the short rail, and come towards the 3 ball. Pretty good, but pretty large angle on this 3 ball. Needs a lot of backspin, if at all possible, to keep position on the pink 4. Might just run into the pink 4 while making the 3. Okay. So just about able to. So 1 more shot required. Making the 5, if you're fairly straight, will give you position on the 6. So needs to get straight to about a 20-degree angle on the 5 ball to get back in absolutely ideal line. So maybe even a bit of right spin while cutting this in. Yeah, nicely done. So, solved the problem, kept position, never really risked snookering himself on that cluster. So, a pretty intelligent solution so far by Shane. bit straight on this 7 ball. Hard to. Might have to draw his cue ball straight back into the left long rail and back out. Zip. So Shane definitely not happy with his performance so far yet, but hey, you know, if you could be not totally satisfied and still be about to lead 5-4, knowing you can kind of only get better and also get more used to this table. So Shane Van Boening finally takes a lead he's had to work quite hard for, especially in this rack. 5-4 he leads, Piotr to break, looking to make the 1 ball left side. That worked. Now needs those 2 balls to pass the breaking line. But what to do with the 2? Now a lot of balls to hide behind. If he hits almost hits it straight ahead, but a tiny bit on the right side, or our left from where we're looking now. Oh, this might not be able to with the 3 ball there. Could cut it and thread his cue ball back to where it came from. Did he leave the gap? He sure did. So a lot less quality, or quite a few more mistakes by Piotr in the second half of this match so far. Now can he cut this 2 ball in? If he can, then his cue ball will roll towards the green 6 off of the rail he's pointing from now. Could bank the 2. But we need to play a pretty nifty position on the red 3. Safety is possible. But Shane definitely an attacking kind of player, although I'd venture to say that a lot of times the shot kind of shows itself and you have to kind of choose and execute what you're given. Ooh. Alright, so not easy to get away with this kick shot either. I mean, if he hits it full ball, leaves the cue ball with a bit of backspin, leaves the cue ball where the 3 is now, and try to find cover with the 3 ball rolling to the other side of the table. Try to find cover behind the 9 ball and 5 ball. That's a pretty narrow wall. Wants to hit maybe the inside of the 3 ball and drive his cue ball back to where it is now. I think that might yield the most results, or the most potential results. So wants to hit the right side of this 3 ball. So his cue ball travels towards the right and the red towards the left, potentially leaving both balls on the short rail. Cue ball did the trick. Good hit though, wasn't it? Good speed. Now, did he leave him the pot or not? I think he did. So important for Piotr to not fall further behind. Not an easy chance to get back to run out ways here. Oh, elevating his cue. Is that a slight jump or a swerve? I think a slight jump. So a thump on the 3 ball. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, left a thin cut on if he wants to send the 3 into the 4. Of course the carom is on, but then you don't exactly know how far that 3 ball is going to bump back up off that rail. Would rather play the cut and leave the 3 where the 4 is. Yeah, that's what he'll do. Oi! And cue ball. Now, if anything that can be said is that 9 out of 10 pool players are not comfortable playing with the rest. Now, of course, snooker players are more comfortable playing with the rest because of the amount of times they've had to play with it in general in a game or in a match. But I think it would be a good thing for any pro pool player to basically play with the rest for a week. Every shot with the rest. And make it feel like second nature. Because I mean, rolling balls in with the rest a lot of players can do, but if they need cue ball action like backspin or spins or a certain kind of stroke, and a pool player, even the professionals, look pretty amateur with the rest, really. Anyway, or that's what the snooker players would say. So many areas in pool you can work on. You know, if you dedicate an hour working on the break, dedicate an hour on safeties, dedicate an hour on banks, an hour on this, you know, if you raise parts of your game even by 1%, you know, all in all, that will make a higher percentage difference to your overall level, skills and confidence. So, never mind all that. Piotr makes it 5 each. Shane Van Boening to break, trying to cut the one in the side. Now, you're not trying to hit the one ball full, slightly on the left, send it into that left rail and back out to the center of table, like exactly like that. Now, you still might not get a shot, since you're often... Ooh, Shane didn't comply with the 3-point rule. So a lot of collisions between balls made it occur that no ball passed the breaking area. So only one ball made and no balls past the breaking area. So has to give control of the table back to Piotr. Nice cut, nice hold on the black. Now needs about a 20 to 40 degree angle on the pink 4 that he needs to fabricate to make his cue ball maneuverable towards the orange 5. Now, because making the 5 will give him a shot on the green 6, he basically wants 0 to 20 degree angles on the 5 ball. Could do with more angle like so, but then his cue ball will have to zigzag back and forth. And all in all, more cue ball travel just leaves more room for error, really. Still though, doing pretty well, and he's got a chance to take the lead against arguably the best 9-ball player of all time. So fairly straight on the cue ball. He's looking to stop his cue ball and leave the bank. Could topspin his cue ball out of this bottom left corner for a 8 in the side. Don't think he can draw his cue ball back to where it is now. So top left spin. Careful for that 9-ball. Jeez. Good execution though, nice. Okay, well, we've got a match on for sure, as we've had for a while. Nobody running away with anything here, and Piotr Kudlik giving Shane Van Boening a run for his money. No balls down. So that was a way overcut break. If you overcut it, your cue ball kind of gets lost and travels to this end of the table. So it's an illegal. Yeah, illegal break. Didn't make a ball, and only the 6 ball passed into breaking area. Now Shane could cut this 1 ball into the corner. Yeah, the 2 ball passes the 9. But cutting the 1 into the corner, his cue ball will kind of... Oh, he's looking at something different. Peculiar. I would say he could cut it in and thread his cue ball in between the brown-pink window and back out. Can still give the table back since it was an illegal break by Piotr. So Shane can put him back in. Of course, Piotr can still push out. Shane can also push out. So it's not like you have to take this shot, which for quite a few reasons seems like a pretty low percentage success rate on this shot, whether making it and playing position on the 2. I mean, playing safe, I don't really see anything. I'm not sure. Shane's not really used to playing with this 3-point rule, so I'm not sure if Shane's really got in mind that he can pass control back of the table. So, I mean, it almost looks like Shane's not trying to make the 1, sending it where he just pointed to, into the right long rail, top rail, and back out towards the 9, and his cue ball behind the 7-4. Yeah, that was tough. Now, in having to shoot such a difficult shot, tells me that Shane wasn't aware he could give control back of the table. Can he make this in the right side and hold position for the blue 2? Ooh. Phew. What to do here? Almost seems like no matter how thin you cut it, yeah. You know, you can only hit so much of the 2 ball. There are only so many options, especially in this case, of things that will happen, and none of these things paint a pretty picture for what he leaves Shane after he executes this. Might be able to cut it that thin and just go below the black 8. Of course, the 2 ball will kind of halt as it hits the 9. I don't think he can bring his cue ball 3 rails behind the orange 5 ball or something. Whew. Pretty good match to watch, though, I find. I mean, a lot of these cut break matches, often players make like 2 or 3 balls on the break, especially the great executioners of the cut break, and it leaves very few clusters, very little tactical play. And in this match, we've had quite a bit of that, really. I mean, what to do? Because also, when he cuts the 2 into the 9 will start rolling towards us. And that's the path his cue ball might be running over as well. So the cue ball and 9 ball might collide. Yeah, you almost just kind of want to run out of the arena and not play the shot at all. I mean, to be honest, he's kept damage so far, at least, to a minimum. So pretty good. And it seems options for Shane to play safe, few and far between. Now he's looking at hitting the right side of the blue as we're looking, carrying it off the green 6 into the side, all the while maybe trying to hide his cue ball behind the red 3 or even playing position on the red 3. Could find cover there with behind the red 3, maybe pink 4. Okay, so he's hitting it on the other side. Interesting little shot sequence here. You don't see it often where you are really kind of like grasping for options, grasping for things that might give you a shot to play that you're happy to play. And like it seems like Piotr's shot from just now, he kind of rather wouldn't have wanted to play, although he did pretty well, because as you can see, Shane's been thinking about this for over a minute now. As you can imagine, no shot clock in effect here. Now he's looking at cannoning off the green 6 and then cannoning the 2 ball in a safe position and bringing his cue ball back down to this side of the table near us. Again, you know, you probably live to tell the tale, kind of, because you'll probably get another shot at the table, albeit you might be snookered after this. But even that is not an easy shot for Piotr to have to execute. And that is pretty nifty if he gets the snooker. Ooh, he may not have. So left Shane a shot, or it seems like he did anyway. If he did, then his cue ball will come straight into rail nearest us, the short rail, and come straight back out. So we'll kind of thread up and down the table, which will give him position on the 3. Although he might not be able to hit it directly because he's looking at the cushion first, or rail first, depending on your, depending on where you're from. So wants to cut it thin. Is not going for the pot. Wants to kind of leave his cue ball back on the other side of the table and find cover behind. Hit it thicker than he wanted to. Okay, so things are opening up here. Nice. Wow, nice 3-rail position from Piotr there. Back in the game. Finally, we've got some breathing space for the players and the viewers. That was, yeah, it was a quite unique situation on that 2-ball earlier, with really no nice options to go for. All right. So might opt to cut this in the side just to get a straighter shot or better shot on the orange 5. pretty good, so he's in with a chance. You'd imagine he's thinking, how can I screw this up to give myself a 7-5 lead? Although 6 to the 7, 7 to the 8 needs a bit of work, or it needs nice angles, really. I think he's straight enough, so can draw it straight back, but needs to leave about 20 to 40 degree angle. And that's almost more than he can handle. But should be able to roll this in and leave himself a fairly straight in shot on the black. Nerves must be building inside Piotr though. And you can be confident, but you know, beating SVB is just not an everyday thing for most players, or having a chance to potentially beat SVB. So, here we go. After a long safety game, Piotr comes out winning that one. 7-5 for Kudlik. SVB trying to cut the one in the left side. Did so. Made another 2 balls, but the 2 ball is not going to give him any kind of run out opportunity. What's more, you can't even see most of the 2 ball. Cut the 2, but to cut it so thin that he makes that miss the pink 4 and go towards the short rail is nigh on impossible, I think. So push out. Alright, so pushing out to a jump shot. Pushing out to a jump bank. Now, is that pure SVB 9-ball intelligence, or a little bit of frustration speaking? I think he'll get it back, and then Shane has to jump, bank, make the 2, and then still create kind of a position on the 3 ball. Nothing is a given. I mean, in a way, you should give it back. On the other hand, jumping it, hitting the right side of the blue from where we're looking, even if it doesn't make the bank, could yield distance between the cue ball and 2 ball, could yield even a snooker in the best case scenario, should he not make the bank. It's definitely what both players are going for in this case. So here we go. Making this could create an 8-5 lead, race to 9, remember. Ooh, hit that way too full. Okay, so Shane, so far anyway, comes out victorious out of this tactical push-out exchange, but still needs to consolidate that advantage by elevating his cue over the 3 ball and either stopping his cue ball at least or drawing it back a little bit for the 3. Zip. Love that Shane stroke. So if I've got it right, it's Piotr to break after this. So SVB taking things back from 7-5 to 7-6. Piotr to break. He needs to comply with the 3-point rule. One ball in the side. Corner ball made. Alright, so all legal. That's all good. Shane just standing up, but he can just sit right back down. It's a nice opportunity here. Wants to leave himself straight on the 3 ideally. Could roll the 2 in softly. That would get him his cue ball at some point into a straight in position on the red 3 in the right side. I think he's looking more to full stroke this, so wants to maybe draw it into the left rail and back out. Yo. Never threatened the pocket, but not giving any pot away to Shane. Even cutting this 2 ball on the left side. A very thin hit will make his cue ball disappear into the side. Again, I can't really see many options that yield potential positive results. I don't think you can hit it thick enough to bank it towards the bottom right corner and leave it kind of like behind the 4-5 ball. Maybe you can, yeah. That's what he's looking at. So can he bank to make it? Leave his cue ball on the left short rail, keeping position for the 3 if he makes it, and kind of leaving it safe if he doesn't. I mean, that's a lot of wishes and small percentage, I think. Maybe it was safety all the way. Badly executed though. So Piotr back to the table, looking, of course, to make this ball, to get a nice position on the 3 ball. As soon as it is on the 4, you would imagine it go on to run out. Ooh. So Piotr definitely feeling it a little bit. I mean, strokes are becoming a little bit more pokey. And on the last 2 pots, didn't even threaten the jaws. So, I mean, it's all understandable. Don't get me wrong. So I think Shane can make this with a lot of right spin. His cue ball will travel straight into the rail he's nearest and then make it spin to the right to give himself quite a few pockets for the 3 ball available. That's not straight enough, so we'll have to draw his cue ball, send it towards us, off the short rail and back to where it is now, really. It's not a very large area to park your cue ball in. Here we go. Nice. Hard to cut this in and hold your cue ball where it is now, kind of, so might opt to come across the table, so into the left rail, into the right rail, and back out to where it is now. Yeah. Wasn't easy though. It needed a specific kind of stroke. You couldn't really whack it, couldn't hit it too soft. That was quality required. Thought he was going to hide the cue ball behind the 8, but no. So this is really, you know, the nitty-gritty of matches where things are tight and getting to the end stages. I mean, Shane does tend to raise his level. Wow, a few unsung heroes more often than not might get a bit tighter, which affects their quality of shot, really. And Shane keeps that kind of like big stroke going, keeps going for his shots, and has of course seen himself come through a lot of these matches, so that also gives you confidence to do it again and confidence in yourself. So testing 9-ball here to tie things up at 7 apiece, race to 9 at the Eurotour. And hey, at this very moment, I'd like to thank you. Oh, I'd like to say, oh, Shane. I mean, he didn't even hit the jaws. Now that's a thin cut he left. Hey, isn't this a good match to watch? I hope you're enjoying this. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Hey, press like. You can subscribe yourself to any new Billiard Network offering so that when we post something, you will be the first one to hear it. So this cut, hey, if you played it with enough speed, you're still allowed to hit the bottom rail if you don't cut it clean. See? Ooh, cue ball. Jeez. Yeah. Wow. 8-6. Piotr Kudlik. Shane Van Boening to break. Needs something good here. 1 ball in the side. 3 ball bottom right, maybe? Yes. And the one below, rack below the 3 also went in. And he has got a nice, well, fairly nice shot on the 4 ball. Cut it in. Draw it to the right long rail. Back out to the center of table. Okay, nice. Kept it smaller. So it wants to be fairly straight on the green 6. I don't know what the scoreboard is doing. It's not 7-all. I mean, it has to be at least 8-6. So I don't really know what the score is. I thought from the very first moment the score wasn't really accurate. But earlier on it was 7-6 and then Kudlik made that 9-ball. So it would have to be up 8-6 now. And this would make it 8-7 for Kudlik. And he would be breaking. So Shane Van Boening breaking and running out, keeping things as easy as he possibly can. No safety exchanges, and I think audience numbers might be increasing here the closer this gets to a final rack decider. So now it says 8-7 for SPB. What? So never mind the score. I believe it is 8-7 for Piotr. No ball down. Quite dynamic 1 ball, albeit a fairly natural 2-rail position to bring his cue ball to where it is now on the 2 ball. Maybe a bit of top left spin to make your cue ball roll favorably off those rails, make it come to life. So big opener here. Now you might have more angle than he wished on this 1 ball, meaning off of the 2nd rail his cue ball might roll towards the black. He doesn't want to hit any of the black-red obstructions, or let them be no obstruction. Shaved the black, but that was pretty good. Nice high speed cue ball there, and still kept the accuracy to make the 3 ball. Now, not a lot of angle, and a cue ball on the rail, meaning you can only hit the top half of the rail, so it can only go forward. Don't know if the red 3 passes the pink into the top right, because then he could potentially come out of the bottom left corner here where he makes the blue and leave himself a diagonal 3 ball into the top right. Alright, elevation incoming. Always makes the pot harder. Ooh, that was nice. Created a lot of angle out of very little. Beautiful. Well, we'll at least be able to make the 3 and stop his cue ball into the 8. So leaving his cue ball where the 8 ball is now for position on the pink 4. If the 3 ball goes into the side. Now he's just checking out if the green 6 kind of is potable, because it is very near the brown 7. Ooh. Ooh. Hit the lower half of that 8 ball. That took until the last movement of the 8 ball to open up. Good match though here for the Eurotour audience. You know, for a lot of players worldwide, Shane Van Boening, you know, is the example of the 9 ball, 10 ball kind of run out rotation pool hero. The way he breaks, the way he strokes, the way he plays the big shots. Like I said earlier on, he's kind of like Earl Strickland 2.0, minus the negative interactions with the audience. It's kind of ideal, isn't it? Yeah, unsure if that 6 ball goes in already. He's got a nice angle, workable angle on the 5 ball, but needs to leave his cue ball exactly in that window between the 8 and 9 ball, which as soon as he leaves the 5 ball and comes off of that top short rail, he will reach that window fairly quickly, but that window will also shut fairly soon when rolling towards the 9 ball. So pretty delicate shot here. He was looking on trying to come further than the 9 and either leaving himself a cut on the 6 or even a bank on the 6. Now he's aiming low on the cue ball. Does that mean backspin? Okay, so very thin cut on the 6. The referee might have to check this contact. If he banks it, he need not worry, but he's looking at the cut. Of course, that's going to career his cue ball into the 7 ball. The 6 needs to be hit with a certain speed to reach the pocket, meaning after collision with the brown 7, they will drift away from each other, the cue ball and 7 ball. The bank would be cleanest, but then he's hitting it fairly full. He might not hold position on the 7s. No. Don't know if that was exactly what he envisioned happening, but it looked like a very professional way of shooting it. Cool, so Shane, although the scoreline suggests that this may be the potential final nail in Piotr's tournament coffin, but if I'm correct, this either might lead us to a final rack decider. Let's just wait and see. Will they shake hands after this? This 9-ball for another rack for Shane. Looks like it might be the last rack. Boom. There we go. Okay, that it was. So Shane Van Boening takes this match after a hard-fought battle with Piotr. Thanks for watching. Have a look at the rest of our library. Lots of matches, and we have lots of stuff coming up for you. My name's been Rico. You're watching the Billiard Network. Vast library of world-class pool matches, and we thank you for your kind eyes and wish you a very good time. And until the next time, see you later.